Our journey begins in maritime Southeast Asia, Indonesia, and Malaysia, home to one of the richest stone mortar traditions on earth. From fiery sambal mata, eaten raw, to jet black rawon paste and peanut-based pestle 10 dishes, one tool. In Indonesia and Malaysia, it's called the kobek. Rendang, Indonesia's most famous dish, starts here. Chilies, shallots, ginger, and candle nuts, ground into a paste, in a kobek. That paste simmers for hours, with beef in coconut milk, until it becomes the dish often called the world's most delicious. Unlike rendang, sambal mata from Bali is never cooked. Shallots, lemongrass, and bird's-eye chili are only lightly crushed in a kobek, just enough to release their oils while staying fresh and crisp. It's the raw, fragrant counterpart to rendang's slow-cooked richness. Crossing into mainland Southeast Asia, Thailand, Cambodia, and Myanmar. Here, fresh herbs and aromatics rule, and the sta mortar is still the heart of every kitchen. From Thailand's fiery som tam and curry paste, to Cambodia's golden kroyung, to Myanmar's fermented lapit. 4 very different dishes, but the same ancient method, pounding, not blending. In Myanmar, tea isn't just for drinking. Lapet, fermented tea leaves, is pounded into a paste using a mortar and pestle, then mixed with peanuts, sesame, garlic, and fresh chili. Once a peace offering between warring kingdoms, it's now a symbol of hospitality across the country. Thai curry paste is built layer by layer in a stone mortar. Dried chilies and tough aromatics first, then softer ingredients like garlic and shrimp paste. Thai cooks insist the pounding motion releases essential oils that a blender's blade simply cuts through instead. Now into East Asia, China, Japan, and Korea. 3 distinct mortar traditions. The kobek-style stone mortar, Japan's ridged suribachi, and Korea's wooden julgu. From Sichuan's fermented dobanjang, to Yunnan's communal pounded rice cake urkwai, to Japan's silky goma and miso, to Korea's gochujang. 11 dishes, 3 countries, 1 shared technique, pounding by hand. Gochujang begins with miju soybeans, boiled and pounded by hand in a traditional julgu mortar, combined with rice and red chili powder, then aged for months in earthenware jars. It becomes the base for bulgogi marinades across Korea. A 2024 academic study even traces its fermentation chemistry back centuries. Urkwai may be the most dramatic mortar in this entire series. In Yunnan, steamed rice is pounded inside a mudui, a giant stone mortar sunk into the ground, operated by 4 to 6 people pulling a massive wooden lever together. It's been done this way for 400 years, turning rice into a smooth, chewy cake. South Asia, India, and Sri Lanka. 2 neighboring food cultures bound by one shared kitchen ritual, grinding fresh ingredients into chutneys and sambals every single day. From India's coconut and tamarind chutneys, to Sri Lanka's fiery pol sambal and sweet sini sambal. These condiments look similar, but each carries its own region, its own story, and its own grinding stone. Coconut chutney is the queen of South Indian breakfasts. Fresh coconut, green chili, and tamarind, ground by hand on an amakal stone mortar, served alongside crispy dosa. Cooks say the stone grind releases an aroma a blender simply can't match. Sini sambal is Sri Lanka's sweet answer to its fiery sambals. Onions, pounded and slow-cooked for hours with tamarind, palm sugar, and warm spices, turn into a dark, jammy relish proof that the same stone mortar can produce something fiery one day and sweet the next. From Asia, we travel to the Middle East and the Arabian Gulf, where the mortar isn't just a tool, it's a sound, a ritual, and a welcome. In the Gulf, Coffee isn't just a drink, it's a ceremony. Beans are roasted and ground in a miaibaj, a wooden mortar whose rhythmic pounding sound signals to the whole neighborhood that gawa is about to be served. It's one of the few culinary traditions recognized by UNESCO as a symbol of generosity itself. In the Gulf, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a ceremony. Beans are roasted and ground in a miaibaj, a wooden mortar whose rhythmic pounding sound signals to the whole neighborhood that gawa is about to be served. It's one of the few culinary traditions recognized by UNESCO as a symbol of generosity itself. Hummus has become one of the most globally recognized dishes from this entire list, found in supermarkets from Jakarta to New York. But its roots are humble. Chickpeas, garlic, tahini, and lemon, traditionally mashed by hand in a stone mortar, long before it became a worldwide snack aisle staple. Our journey continues to Africa, from Ghana's coast to Ethiopia's highlands, where pounding starches and roasting coffee are both daily communal rituals. Fufu's giant wooden mortar, Ghana's clay, asanka, Ethiopia's berbere, and Buna coffee, different tools, different textures, the same ancestral technique passed down for generations. Fufu is West Africa's communal pounding ritual. Boiled cassava and plantain are beaten in a large wooden mortar, a rhythmic, almost musical process, until the dough turns smooth and stretchy, ready to be torn and dipped into a bowl of soup. In Ethiopia, the birthplace of coffee, beans are roasted right in front of guests, then ground by hand in a wooden mukecha mortar. The Buna ceremony can take over an hour, brewed in a clay jabena, and poured in 3 rounds. Coffee here is a ritual of hospitality, not a quick caffeine fix. We cross into Mediterranean Europe, Spain, and Italy, where marble mortars have shaped some of the world's most beloved sauces for centuries. From Italy's basil pesto to Spain's almond-based aja blanco, picada, and romesco, each sauce tells a story of olive groves, almond trees, and grandmothers who refuse to trade their mortar for a blender. Real pesto alla genovese is never blended, it's bruised. Basil, pine nuts, garlic, and 2 cheeses are ground in a marble mortar using a gentle circular motion, keeping the color vivid green and the flavor clean. Tossed with trophy pasta, it's one of Italy's most iconic dishes. While Italy bruises basil, Catalonia roasts and grinds peppers. Romesco combines roasted red peppers, almonds, and garlic, ground smooth in a mortar, into a smoky, sweet sauce, traditionally served alongside grilled calçots, Catalonia's beloved spring onions. Crossing the Pacific to Mexico, a single country so rich in mortar traditions, it earns its own region on this map. Meet the molcajete and its sloped cousin, the metate. Oaxaca alone claims 7 distinct moles: verde, negro, amarillo, coloradito, rojo, mancha mantel, and more, plus fiery salsa molcajeteada and creamy guacamole. 10 dishes, 1 philosophy: grinding stone over blender. Always. Mole poblano can take over 20 ingredients: chilies, chocolate, almonds, raisins, and warm spices, all ground by hand on a metate, the sloped stone cousin of the molcajete. Served over turkey or chicken, it's widely considered Mexico's national dish. Unlike mole's hours-long process, salsa molcajeteada is fast and fiery. Roasted tomatoes, chilies, and garlic are crushed right in the molcajete, a volcanic stone mortar, and served still inside it. It's the everyday counterpart to mole's elaborate ceremony. Across the Atlantic to the Caribbean, where African pounding traditions were carried by enslaved people and reborn using local plantains. Puerto Rico's mofongo and the Garifuna's hudutu both start the same way. Plantain, pounded by hand in a wooden mortar until it becomes the foundation of a meal. Mofongo traces back to fufu, brought across the Atlantic by enslaved West Africans and recreated in Puerto Rico with green plantain. Fried, then mashed in a wooden pilon with garlic and oil. It's served as a mound, alongside stewed meat or seafood. a dish that carries an entire history of resilience and adaptation. South of the equator now, Peru, Argentina, and the Andes, where the baton, a flat Andean grinding stone, has fed civilizations for centuries. From Peru's creamy huancaína and ocopa sauces, to Argentina's herby chimichurri, to Bolivia's fiery La Joie 5 sauces, built on the same Andean foundation, stone against stone. Chimichurri is the soul of Argentine barbecue. Parsley, oregano, and garlic are pounded in a mortar and pestle until bruised and fragrant, then mixed with vinegar and olive oil, spooned over grilled steak. It's proof that the simplest sauces are often the most powerful. While chimichurri is herby and raw, papa a la huancaína is creamy and cooked smooth. Queso fresco, ají amarillo chili, and milk are ground in a baton into a silky sauce poured over boiled potatoes, a dish named after the highland city of Huancayo. Our final stop, the Pacific Islands, Hawaii, Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, and Vanuatu, where pounding stone meets root and ritual. Hawaii's poi and the Pacific's kava ceremony close our journey to ancient pounded traditions that still bring communities together today, exactly as they did 3,000 years ago. Kava has been cultivated and consumed across the Pacific for at least 3,000 years. The root is pounded into powder with a mortar and pestle, then mixed with water in a communal tanoa bowl, a ceremony that still anchors social life across Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, and Vanuatu today.
Yo, stone on stone, watch it pop. Colors change and we don't stop. Chemistry in every drop. Lump and chisel straight to the top. Hit subscribe, join the grind. Ancient stone, modern.